Hey, good evening. It is Tamara Green with Below the Skirt with Tamara, helping women like you live your best life below the skirt. The question I have, is sex painful? Is sex painful? And to answer that question, sex should not be painful. You should not dread having sexual intercourse because it's uncomfortable. And I'm going to bring this to you again. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist, and I work with issues that women don't feel comfortable with talking below the skirt. So now if you're having sex and it's aggressive, there may be some discomfort, and some people like that as discomfort but pleasure at the same time. But if you're truly just dreading having sex because it's painful, then that is not what sexual intercourse should be about. Now, your question may be saying, well, what are the reasons why sex can be painful? Well, it can be, say you may have had a perennial tear, or you may have had an episiotomy, and that's just where there's either a perennial tear is the tear, if we look at Virginia, between the vaginal canal and down to the anal area, or episiotomy where there has been an incision made so that it can allow a little bit more flexibility for childbearing. So if you've had the tear and they'll end up having to use sutured back up, it is uncomfortable, and as time moves on, that surgical incision will heal itself. You will have some type of scar tissue, just like any cut, but it's at a very sensitive area down there, and you don't have as much flexibility in the skin. You can look at it as a piece of chicken. If you cut the skin of the chicken or it tears, once it heals back up, it's not the original skin in the way that it was put together. So it can leave some scar tissue, and decrease of flexibility doesn't allow movement. So if you're having some type of penetration, the flexibility is not there, so it makes it very, very uncomfortable. You may feel, well, I thought it was dryness, and it may not be. So if you're noticing any type of discomfort with an original insertion, it could be inserting a tampon. That is a sign that sexual intercourse is going to be painful for you. Or if you're dreading going to your OBGYN appointment to get your pelvic assessment done by your OB, you're dreading them using the instrumentation to be able to do their assessment. So those are examples of knowing you're probably going to have some discomfort with sexual intercourse. Say, for instance, a lot of times anxiety brings on a lot, especially a lot that's going on with COVID. As women, we hold our stress down in our pelvic floor. And Virginia, this is who she is. And if you join my group Below the Skirt with Tamara, I go very specific in reference to everything about Virginia. But we as women, we hold our stress down in our pelvic floor. And with it being in our pelvic floor, our muscles get really, really tight. And with tightness, things are not loose. Lotion is motion, right? So if things are tight down there, sexual intercourse will be uncomfortable. So that's another example as to why. And I just want you to realize you may say, hey, in my situation, it is just very uncomfortable, but you may hear someone else talk about it, and they're not talking about the same thing. And they're talking about different pleasures. If you're noticing your story is different from somebody else's that you feel may be possibly normal, and you've done your research to see, should this be going on? And if it is going on and it shouldn't be going on, definitely take the next step to be able to get the help that you need, because sexual intercourse, having sex, should not be painful. It, if anything, should be very enjoyable. It's a way that we release ourselves. It's a way that we just really, it's a normal function of the body. That's how each and every one of us, some form or fashion, got here in some way. So just realize that you're not alone. You are not the only one that is living with these issues. And sometimes these issues, and not sometimes, a lot of times, if you're having pain with intercourse, it will affect the relationship that you're in a judgment-free zone. If you're married, if you have a significant other, if you're just in whatever relationship, If you are having painful intercourse and you're not wanting to engage in sex with whoever you're doing that with, and it's a relationship of some sort, that person may truly feel like you're not attracted to them. And then that also brings on other issues. And I've seen women, they come into my office and their significant others feel like there's something wrong with them when it really was you. It's you not being open and letting your partner know that you're having some issues and some concerns, and it's not really them. And there has been situations where there has been, unfortunately, some abuse that has gone on because somebody thinks somebody is treating. I'm not saying that's right, because I'm not saying that is not right, but I'm just saying things go on because of what goes on in the bedroom at times. It affects marriages because, again, that other person on the other side may not feel like you're attracted, or you may be not interested, or you're doing other things. Again, and it's not them, it's actually you. So definitely, if you're in a relationship, be open with your significant other or whoever you're having your relations with, and let them know it's not you, it's me. And if that's something you're not able to quite do, or get help somewhere else. You don't have to live in this silence. And you also may know with, excuse me, with having painful intercourse, it may make you not want to go into a relationship because you feel like you can't give all of yourself, because you feel less of a woman, because it's painful. It's painful. So I'm just dropping in this evening, and I'm okay as a pelvic floor physical therapist of bringing private matters to public conversations, because there's nothing wrong. This is everyday life. This is the things that we deal with, and these are things that we deal with behind closed doors that we don't share with our significant other or share with anybody else. And it's okay. So hopefully I brought you a couple tidbits as to why you could possibly be having some painful intercourse, as to what you can do about it. There is help. If you are having concerns, or it's affecting your quality of life, and you are not feeling like you can be all the woman you can be for yourself, first of all, and then also for your relationship, speak with your provider. You may not feel comfortable with speaking with your primary care doctor. They're a doctor. You may say, I don't want to talk with them because they're a man. I mean, let's be straight up. They see many cooler cats every day in their office. You're no different, right? We're all women. We all have Virginias. Be upfront. If you don't feel comfortable with them, speak with your OBGYN, speak with your urologist. But more on that route, speak with your OBGYN. Let them know when you have your follow-up, or if you don't want to wait till your follow-up, make an appointment. When they say, hey, what are you seeing me? What are you coming in for? Be transparent. They are not mind readers. You have to let them know. And you boldly tell them, I am having pain with sex, or I can't have sex because it's painful. When you let them know that, then they're going to go through their protocol, what they're going to do. But realize it doesn't always have to end with medicine. Medicine could be, a component, but as pelvic therapists, we practice in a conservative way. We assist you. We help you, but we assist you because we have to have you do the work. We're coaching you through it. We're having you do it. And sometimes there's hands-on time. And then you may say, hey, you don't feel comfortable, and that's okay. So we will meet you, or I will meet you where you are with your situation, because ultimately I want you to live your best life below the skirt. I don't want you to live in silence, because too many women do. And I want you to understand the statistics that go along with it. 1 in 7 women have some form of issue of pelvic pain. Pelvic pain this is Virginia. You have a Virginia. Anywhere from this hip bone to this hip bone, from the rooter to the tutor. I'm sure you've heard that. All of this area is your pelvis. If you're having discomfort, specifically on this topic that I'm speaking on, painful sex, get some help. Pelvic floor physical therapy can help with that. Insurance can cover that. It's just like physical therapy for the arm or the shoulder, like things that I have worked with previously, but I'm taking my focus more into pelvic rehab because I too once had issues, not specifically this issue, but I too once had issues. So just realize insurance covers it. It does. So let somebody know. Don't live in silence. Live out loud and take care of your needs. So if you have any questions or anything, by all means, side message me. People do it all the time. But I'm here to bring private conversations to public matter, bringing private conversations and having open conversations about it. So I hope you have a good evening. And I didn't just come on here to talk about sex before nighttime. That's not what I'm doing. But I know some of you are just chilling, looking through your phones, and it's a perfect opportunity to get your attention. And hopefully this was informative to you. And if you want to know more specifics today, I did speak in my group about how tactics you can use to help stretch some of those areas that may be tight if you had an episiotomy or some type of perineal tear. I did post that in my group, Below the Skirt with Tamara. So definitely join my group. I go very detailed, very specific. I don't hold back. But on my personal page, I just kind of give more of a general, broad topic. And I also will drop the link for my ebook that I wrote specifically for every woman, 5 tips you need to do to be able to live out loud and live your best life below the skirt. So I hope you have a good evening, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.